Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Joyful Money Podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about how to get to your first 50K in business. Why is this so important? I feel like so many people are giving up on their business dreams. So many people are just stopping the effort on building their businesses. And the reason they are doing this is because they are not getting any results, they are not making any money, they are not attracting any clients in their business. So it got me thinking, how can I contribute in my own way to help you stay in business long enough to start reaping the benefits? Because I know that as soon as you start making money, you're going to prove to yourself that your business idea works. So my goal is to help you make money as quickly as possible in a consistent way and still with the right foundation for your business. Now, what do I mean? So, in my program, I help my clients get more visible, I help them make more money. And the way I do this is with my 10 key months masterclass method, as well as making them more visible using podcast guesting. So, this is where I get them booked for podcast interviews on ideal podcasts where their target audience listen to. So if I get them booked on those podcasts and let's say they deliver an exceptional value, then the host of the podcast is going to ask them, how do people take the next level with you? And typically, you would offer a free gift. You would offer what I call a client magnet. Some people call this a lead magnet, some people call this a freebie. You would offer that to the audience of this amazing podcast where you're guesting on to get people to come into your world. And why do we do that? Well, have you heard the phrase? People buy from people they know, like, and trust. Yes. So for people to know, like, and trust you, there has to be a relationship. There has to be a way where people can come into your container, even though it's a free container, where they would know you more, they'll know about your offering, they'll know what you offer. And so this got me thinking, if I can help you build or show you how to build for yourself an exceptional, a foundational system that can take you to multiple six figures if you want, but with the goal of creating your first 50K. So I'm going to help you create your first 50K today. Like, that's my goal for today. I want to help you show you a roadmap that step by step will take you to your first 50K. And like I said, the reason why I want to help you do this is through me, I want to make more impact. How? There are people that only you can reach in your business that I will never be able to help. For example, if you are a weight loss coach and you know how to help people lose weight, but because you're not getting clients, you quit and you stop helping people, right? Because you're not making money. If you quit, then you don't get to help people. But if I teach you this strategy today and it helps you to stay in business longer, then I am having an impact because of me, you're going to stay in business long enough to help people. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that's the way I want to spread my impact in the world. I want my impact to have a ripple effect through you. And the way I'm thinking I can do this right now today is to teach you how to make your first 50K. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a masterclass called The Tech Funnels and Systems for Your Business. That was an amazing masterclass, and I got amazing feedback. But someone might watch that masterclass. I'm gonna add the link so you can go watch it. Someone might watch that and say, "Oh my gosh, the systems are so complex," right? But everything starts with this foundational system I'm going to show you. And the foundational system I'm going to show you is called relationship marketing. What does that mean? The clue is in the name relationship marketing. This is where you sell through building relationships. Remember, I told you people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And email marketing is the fastest way to build relationships. Why? Okay. let's take a step back. Are you aware that you do not own Facebook? Are you aware you do not own Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Discord, which other one? MySpace, if that's even a thing. Snapchat, anywhere where you build relationships with people, you do not own those platforms. Alignable. Alignable is a new one I started exploring a couple of weeks ago, and I'm loving it so much. So all of those platforms, you do not own them. What does that mean? Well, if LinkedIn was to crash today, if Facebook was to crash today, all of the relationships you have built will be gone. The best way to build a profitable business is by using email marketing. How? Well, when you have someone's email, you own that forever. You own the email list. So when you build your email list, you can download your email list and take it to wherever you want to go. You own that list. That is why it's absolutely crucial that you build your business with the right foundation, right? So if LinkedIn was to crash or Facebook was to crash, you still own your email list. And here's the thing, when you email somebody, is guaranteed delivery. Like when I email people, they get my emails. Now, it's another story determining if your emails land in the promotions folder or the spam folder. I'm going to talk more about that later. But essentially, when you email somebody, they get the email. But on social media, when you do a post on social media, in fact, the last research shows that only 3% of your followers will see your post. Yes, only 3%. But when you have someone's email and you email them, it's guaranteed that it will land in their email. Now, why do I talk about the client relationship funnel? So I call this a client relationship funnel because this funnel I'm about to teach you today is the bridge from getting people from strangers to paying clients, right? So you turn people from just traffic on your social media, turn them into subscribers, and then you turn your subscribers into buyers. It's the simplest, the most scalable way to sell offers on repeat. And I say this is a way to build ready to buy buyers, ready to buy people. So because I have someone's email, I can sell to them multiple times. So then I do my Joyful Money program, which is going to be a group program, or in the future, I might do a super high ticket one-on-one, or in the future, I might do a VIP day. Because I have their email, I get to email them every single time. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are on my email list, you already know I don't just sell offers, right? Every single email, I don't just sell stuff. I build relationships. I add so much value because when you give, then you get. So when you have an email, you're not just gonna keep making offers every single day. People are gonna unsubscribe. People are gonna unsubscribe from your email list because no one wants you to see them as just an ATM machine that you just sell to all the time. So I'm going to teach you today how to build your client relationship funnel, which is the foundation of every successful business. And this funnel I'm about to teach you will take you to your first 50K. And like I said, my goal is for you to get to your first 50K. Okay, so what do we need in order to build this funnel? Well, the first thing we need is an irresistible offer. An irresistible, some people call it lead magnet. I call it a client magnet. Something so valuable that your ideal client will happily exchange their email address for. That's what I call an irresistible lead magnet. You earn people's email address by offering something super, super valuable in exchange. Now, next question is, how do I create an irresistible lead magnet? Well, I hope that the niche you've chosen is because you were once your person. So, what I mean by that is if you're a weight loss coach, for example, you are more effective if you've struggled with your weight in the past and you've successfully lost weight, right? So, if you are in that position, it means you know what your people want. You know what people are likely going to want to exchange their email address for. So if you are a confidence coach, for example, ideally, you should have struggled with confidence in the past. That way, you are able to create an irresistible lead magnet for your people. So, even though I help my clients do this, I also want you to be able to do this for yourself. Now, what kind of formats do we use for our lead magnets? We use checklist, we use mini video training, we use PDF guides or audio training or a quiz. And the lead magnet has to solve an immediate, urgent problem. So, whatever you choose as your lead magnet, your people, the audience you're trying to attract, should be like, oh my gosh, if I can solve this problem right now, I'm happily going to exchange my email address for it. So, that's your goal. Now, I just want to say that I got to where I am today because I tested multiple lead magnets. Okay, so even though as a business coach, I have struggled, a business and money coach, I have struggled with money in the past, right? So I came up with ideas of what will the business owner struggle with that I can solve based on what I have experienced in the past. So I created lead magnets and then I offered those lead magnets. Now, you have to test multiple lead magnets. I didn't get to I want to say my money making lead magnet right now. I didn't get there just with the first try. So I must have tried at least 12, 12 lead magnets. And because I have my backend system to track the conversion for each of my lead magnets, I now know which of my lead magnets make me the most money. And I'm going to cover that very shortly. So all that to say that your first lead magnet might not be the one that makes you thousands and thousands of dollars. You have to be willing to try different lead magnets to see which one lead to um, um, paid clients. So in my tech and funnels masterclass, I showed you the back end of my funnels and I showed you how for each client that joins my high ticket program, I can actually go and see exactly where they came from. I go and I see what lead magnets they downloaded before they became clients. That's a very good way to build a repeatable business, right? I don't want you to build your business with just guesswork, like just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something lands. Now, if you want to build a foundation that helps you get to multiple six figures and even seven figures, you have to be able to track your numbers. You have to be able to track what works in your business. Okay, so I just wanted to say that the first lead magnet we create will very likely not be the one that gets you to thousands and thousands of dollars. You have to be willing to try multiple lead magnets. For example, let's go back to the weight loss example. Let's say your first lead magnet is um, how to plan meals, right? How to plan meals in 10 minutes. You do that as your lead magnet. And then let's say you don't have as many conversion. And then you try another one, um, how to how to never, I was going to say how to never feel hungry, but obviously that's not a good one. How to never crave chocolate again. Oh gosh, that'll be a good one, right? Because, well, maybe chocolate cakes, cookies, and all of those things. If you can create a lead magnet as a weight loss coach and say, I'm going to show you in this free gift, I'm going to show you how to never have cravings for all of those bad foods. I know there are no bad foods, but you understand what I mean, right? So then when you create that lead magnet and then you compare that to your first lead magnet, teaching people how to plan their meals in 10 minutes, and then based on conversion, you see, oh my gosh, the lead magnet where I teach people how to never have cravings again is the one that gets me the most money. Do you understand what I mean? So we have to be able to test the conversion for all of your lead magnets. Okay, so let's go to step number 3. This is where we actually build your lead capture system. So I'm going to walk you through the tech flow and I'm going to simplify this like simple sales, my friend. Simple always sells. So how do you build this? The first thing you need is a landing page. A landing page explains the value of your free gift. It explains the value of your lead magnet, explains the value of your freebie, and it gets people excited to download it. So on my landing page, I always like to add like my testimonials, amazing things people have said about me, all of those things I put on the landing page. The second page you need is your opt-in page. Your opt-in page is the page where you collect the people's names and email addresses. That's where they enter their details, and then there's a button to click submit. So that's the second page. The third page is your thank you page. This is the page where you confirm to them that their request has been made successfully and builds excitement for what's coming next. Now, here's the secret that most people don't know. I see so many people on their thank you page, they actually deliver the free gift. Do not do that. You want them to go to their email address to find the free gift. Why? This helps with deliverability in the future. If you deliver the free gift on the thank you page, then there's no incentive for them to go back to their inbox, right? So on the thank you page, I like to tell them, oh, your free gift is on the way. Remember to check both spam and promotions folder. The other thing I want you to add on your thank you page is what I call a value video. So remember that what they actually signed up for, you're sending it to their inbox. But on that thank you page, that is such an important real estate. I don't want you to waste it, because the point where someone requests your free resource, they are so pumped to see what you have to offer, right? So that initial excitement that they have about you, I want us to maximize it to the limit. So how do we do this? On the page where you tell them thank you, you're going to add a value video. This is usually like a 15-minute to 20-minute video where you deliver additional value, right? So let's go back to our example of, let's say your lead magnet is, I'm going to teach you how to plan your meals in 10 minutes. Plan healthy meals in 10 minutes. So you send that to their inbox. And then on the value video, you actually show yourself planning your meals, right? So you do a video planning your meals, all of the things. So you do a 20-minute video and then you invite them to book a discovery call, right? So that's why I call it value video. So I'll give you an example. So for mine, my lead magnet is the 10K month calculator. So I give people a calculator that will help them to calculate how they can get to 10K months every single month. So when they enter their name and email, I send that resource to their inbox. And then on the thank you page, I tell them, oh, by the way, here is a video showing how I made 10K in just 5 days using master classes. So the video is right there on the thank you page. And then after the video, I invite them to book a discovery call. That's what I mean by maximizing the real estate. Okay, so that's the tech for the funnel. It's a very simple funnel. Please do not overcomplicate this. The next step is the delivery. So this is where you email them the actual free gift. Now, in the delivery email, be sure to tell them that if the email landed in spam or in promotions, they need to move your email to the primary inbox. This is so important because right now, Gmail, Google, all of these inboxes, the rate at which they're just pushing everything to spam is alarming, right? So most likely your free gift will land in their spam box. It's nothing to do with you. That's how just how it is. So in your first email, just before you deliver the free gift, tell them to move your email to the primary main box. Okay, so step number 4, which is like the most exciting part for me, is the email automation. Now, when someone downloads your free gift, you have to set it up in the backend of your system to deliver the free gift. We do this using workflows. So usually the trigger is form submitted. So in the backend of your system, you create a form and then you go to the workflow section, and then the trigger for the workflow is form successfully submitted. When form is successfully submitted, you deliver the resource via email, and then you tag them. Like, this is something that most people miss out on. You have to tag what people receive. This is how you would know what lead magnet is converting the most. So in your CRM, in your workflow, when you deliver the email, The next step is to tag them. So you ask the system to tag them, you define the tag. So usually if it's plan your meals in 10 minutes, you tag them plan your meals in 10 minutes guide. That's tagged in the CRM. The second email they would receive, usually I do this after 2 hours, is introducing yourself. I call this the story email. Remember at the beginning, I said we are building relationships. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So after you deliver your first um, email, the free gift, you have to tell them who you are. You do this using the story email. In your story email, you introduce yourself, you tell them who you are, you tell them your story, how you got to where you are now. Now, I'm not saying you should write an epistle, right? When I say story email, don't make it too long, but make it such a way that when people read your story email, they're like, oh my gosh, now I know who this person is. And in your story email, you have to communicate why you're the best person to help them, why you're the best weight loss coach to help them lose all the weight forever. You tell them in the story email. Next, you tag them. So you tag them in the CRM to say they've received the story email. Why is this important? Well, remember I told you we're going to try a number of lead magnets. Let's say the plan is to try 5 lead magnets. For each lead magnet, you don't want to send them your story email 5 times. People are going to unsubscribe, right? So you want to create logic in your CRM to say, if this person has received my story email, do not send them story emails ever again. So you can create that logic inside of your CRM. And this is what I help my clients do. I'm going to tell you how I can help you do that too. Step number 5 is creating your 7-day nurture sequence. Now, remember I told you, you're not going to just start selling to people, right? People don't want to feel like they're like your ATM machine, right? You have to nurture relationships. And the way you do this is inside of your nurture sequence. So over 7 days, you're going to deliver high value, but you're going to sell in a soft way. I call it soft selling. I'm going to tell you what I mean. Your job is to nurture, educate, and prime people to buy from you. This is how you convert subscribers into clients. How? Well, I already told you the first day is welcome and story email. Now, day number 2, teach them one simple tip, one simple strategy, and at the bottom of the email, link them to your offer. Day number 3, share a client testimonial. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've shared a video testimonial that led to a client converting, right? Because people like to hear about other people's experiences. So on day number 3, you're going to share a client testimonial and you're going to share a personal insight, right? So share the personal insight from what you offer, and then at the bottom of the email, you send them a link to your offer. Typically, it's like book a call, book a strategy call, so we can explore working together. On day number 4, you're going to teach them one quick win. On day number 4, you want to position yourself as the expert. On day number 4, you don't need to sell. Day number 5, address common objections and address common fears. So let's go back to the weight loss example. It could be day number 5, you want to address common objection. It's going to be, oh, do I have to go to the gym 10 times a week? Right? So it could be like in the email, you say, no, you do not have to go to the gym 10 times a week. In fact, you can just walk outside daily to get some movement in. Or your objection could be, oh, am I going to give up cakes and cookies? Then in that email, you address the objection. Day number 6, you're going to share a transformational story. That story could be that of you or one of your clients. And day number 7, you make a strong call to action and add a sense of urgency. Now, when you finish these 7-day email series, you then need to tag them to be added to your global newsletter. What does that mean? Now, if you have someone going through this email sequence, you don't want them to get your newsletter on Sunday, right? That will be sending too many emails, right? So make sure that your CRM is set up in a way that when someone is going through this workflow, They only get the emails in this workflow. You don't want to send them the emails you send to your global newsletter, right? So how I do it is I allow someone go through the 7-day process, and then at the end I tag them with my global list, right? So I call mine the newsletter. So when I tag them with the newsletter, that's when they start to get all of the newsletters that all of my email list gets. So I don't want you to just start sending multiple emails to people. They're going to unsubscribe. Okay. You want them to focus on just one simple thing, which is going through that 7-day sequence. Okay. Now, step number 6, you've built your amazing lead magnet. You've done all the workflows. You've tested everything. Now, I have to pause here. You have to test your workflow, right? Use one of your test email addresses, plug it in, and make sure that for all of the 7 days, everything works, all of the workflow works, all of the tagging works. That is the only time you can promote it publicly, all right? So for step number 6, you're going to add your lead magnet to all of your traffic channels. So once the system is built, you're going to tell everyone about this amazing lead magnet. How do I do this? So you can look at mine on my, oh, for all of my social media, I have just one link. And that link goes to my link tree. And in my link tree, I have all of my lead magnets, right? So for all of your social media, add your lead magnets. Also, as you create posts on social media, you're going to say, grab my free guide that teaches you how to lose weight in 10 days, for example. And then you say link in bio. That's how you keep promoting. So if you have a podcast, if you have a Facebook profile, any channel you have, add the link magnet. Another way to promote is in your email signature. So when you email people, in your email signature, add the link to your lead magnet. Step number 7 is to stay consistent. Stay consistent, and your goal is to start emailing your email list at least 3 times every single week. You cannot miss it because people like consistency, right? So you have to stay consistent in emailing your list. The other point I want to mention is that you need to track your conversion. What do I mean by tracking your conversion? You have to track open rates. When you send an email, how many people open that email? The next metric you need to track is click-through rates. How many people that open your email actually click through to the link, right? The link where you say book a call. How many people actually click the link? That's one metric to track. Another metric to track is how many discovery calls did you book? This measures the number of qualified leads you have in your email list. And then lastly, you're going to track how many sales you make because ultimately that is what this is all about. I want to help you get to 50K as fast as possible. This is the fastest way using automation, using systems. Okay. Now, I know I have gone through a lot, but here's the thing. I want to help you build this entire system. I'm going to help you come up with lead magnet ideas. I'm going to help you create those lead magnets. I'm going to help you design those lead magnets. I'm going to help you to create all of those pages, your landing page, your opt-in page, your thank you page, all of those I want to help you create. Why? This is what I have found. People listen to my podcast or watch my YouTube and they're like, that's a very good idea. But they don't take action, right? And the only people that get results are the people that take action. And this is why I want to remove as much obstacles as they are because I know life can get very busy. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you have kids, you have family, like maybe you have a spouse you have to take care of, right? All of those things usually stop people from taking action. And I want to remove as much obstacles as I can for you. So here's my offer. It's a brand new offer I just created. I'm going to help you build the entire funnel from start to finish. Every single thing, I'm going to build it for you. All you have to do is just test the system once it's ready. I'm going to build all of the entire process for you from start to finish. Okay. So grab a spot on my calendar. I'm going to add the link. Jump on it, a very short discovery call so I can show you how I can help you build this entire email marketing funnel. I call it my client attraction funnel. And like I said, this is the bedrock of all successful businesses. especially online businesses, even offline businesses. In fact, lately I've been talking to nail salons. Like, they have to be able to email their email list so that they can have repeat customers, right? So I've had to go to a number of nail salons in the past. And even though they have my mobile phone, none of them messaged me to say, this is our next offer. We want you to come in on Saturday to get 10% off, for example. So, regardless of the type of business you have, you will have repeatable business if you implement an email marketing funnel. Okay, so grab a spot on my calendar so I can help you. I'm also going to add a free workbook so that you can implement this if you want to do this by yourself. I'm going to add a workbook that will show you step by step how to do this yourself, because ultimately I want you to succeed. Ultimately, I want you to stay in business long enough to reap the rewards. So this is my system to help you get to your first 50K months. I hope you're as excited as I am. I cannot wait to hear all the feedback. Let me pause and also say thank you to every single person who has DM'd me. In fact, last week, I had a number of DMs from people thanking me for my podcast and telling me what they're getting. So for this episode, I want you to tell me what's landing for you. Like, what are your key takeaways and what are you going to implement? Also, a number of you have been listening to my podcast, but you haven't written me a review yet. So I want to encourage you, if you feel like this has added any positive thing to your life today, please consider leaving me a review. It really, really helps me. It helps more people find the podcast. It helps me make more impact, and it helps me make more money. And I know that there's something called good karma. When you do good things for other people, good things will find you. So I hope you find a place in your heart to go leave me a review today. How you can leave me a review is go on Apple Podcast. When you click on the name of my podcast, scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to see a place for you to write a review. I hope this meets you well today. I am wishing you a fantastic rest of your day, and I cannot wait to teach you my next strategy to help you scale your business faster in a joyful way. All right, I'll see you back here on the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you have enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and leave me a review. Share this episode with a friend to spread the message of hope, abundance, and possibility. And if you're ready to take the next step to amplify your voice, attract premium clients, and create consistent income, head on over to my website, www.joyrowland.com, to learn more about my Joyful Money program or grab one of my free resources. Remember, making money can be joyful, and your story is powerful. Until next time, keep showing up, sharing your voice, and building the business of your dreams. Your voice is your power. Sending you lots of love, joy, peace, and light. Bye for now.